And right now, we are 2 minutes away from the end of the trading day. Romaine Bostick alongside Katie Greifeld taking you through to that closing bell with a global simulcast. We're joined now by Massar and Tim Stenovec in the radio booth. Welcome to our audiences across all of our Bloomberg platforms, including our partnership with YouTube, on a day where we actually see stocks across the board lower, the major indices, I should say, Massar, and a lot of this seems to be tied to some concerns about the AI trade.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's certainly been such a momentum push in this marketplace overall. I don't know. Is it concerns? Is it just taking a breather? We've seen the S&P 500 up for over a week now. So a little bit of a breather maybe as we get ready for earnings to come, because I hate to say it feels like the markets are kind of blowing off the shutdown for the most part at this point, and we're getting ready to mark a week when it comes to the U.S. government shutdown.
I'm looking at shares of Salesforce right now, dipping just a little bit lower, but kind of where they were before this news came out, down 2.4%, out with a redhead on the Bloomberg terminal. Salesforce telling clients it will not pay hackers for data extortions. The company saying it will not pay a ransom from a hacker who claimed to have stolen a large amount of client data and threatened to publish it. This just crossing on the terminal.
Yeah, and we should point out, I mean, kind of also bearing the lead here. I mean, this is actually the first disclosure, apparently, at least publicly, that I can tell of this breach here. So them saying they're not going to pay it, but of course, the real headline seems to be that there was a breach to begin with.
Yeah, I should point out, too, this is according to an email seen by Bloomberg News, so still waiting for official comment from the company there.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. The shares had been lower for a good portion of the session anyway, but taking a slight uptick lower as we get the closing bells in New York. Right across the screen for all of the major indices here in the U.S., the Dow Jones Industrial Average, that's actually your outperformer on the day, and it's still down more than 90 points or 0.2%. The S&P 500 dropping about 26 points or 0.4%. The NASDAQ Composite down 0.7. The NASDAQ 100 down 0.6. Also, I just want to point out that the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index, which of course a lot of people are laser focused in on now, down 2% on the day, and the Russell 2000, Massar, losing about 28 points or 1.1%.
Let's not forget, though, the SOX is up more than 30% year to date, so we've seen certainly momentum there, even though we're seeing a little bit of a pullback today. Hey, if you look at the S&P 500, Katie, you've got more than 200 names to the upside, 299 to the downside.
And let's take a look at the sector level as well. Slightly more red than green when you consult the circle there. You can see that tech is actually lower on the day. Feels like we haven't seen that for a while. That sector down by about 0.5%. We know a lot of that comes back to Oracle. In terms of what did well, consumer staples was your big winner when it comes to a percent basis, up by about 0.9%. Financials too as well, but consumer staples being the big winner really speaks to the defensive mood in the market overall today.
All right, having said that, man, there's some real standouts when it comes to gainers in the Tuesday trade.
Yeah,
Trilogy.
let's see what they are.
Trilogy, I'm sure you'll have more to add. Trilogy Metals up 211%. It was up as much as 281% earlier in the session, but finishing with a 211% gain. Ticker is TMQ. It's a $6.50 a share stock. You know the story. The United States taking a 10% stake in the Canadian Minerals Explorer as part of a $35.6 million investment to secure critical energy and mining projects in Alaska. We have seen this trade coming out of the White House. So there's a beneficiary in a big way. AppLovin down 14% yesterday. It was a story that came on our radar late yesterday. Down 14% in the Monday trade, but up 7.6% in today's session. It was a top gainer in the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100. Citi coming out and saying that they would be buyers on any weakness. They say that they noted that the regulator, SEC, has not officially accused AppLovin of any wrongdoing. So they're kind of a little bit, it sounds like, suspect. Keep in mind the big story yesterday, Bloomberg News breaking that the SEC has been probing the company specifically looking at their data collection practices. That was according to people familiar, but nonetheless, investors moving back into AppLovin. And got to mention AMD. It, again, was among your biggest gainers in the major indices, up another almost 4% in today's session. This kind of another gain for a second day, up almost 24% yesterday, so continuing to build. And that, of course, is the news that AMD has a deal with OpenAI to build AI infrastructure. So some momentum continuing on this Tuesday, Tim.
Well, those are some of the gainers. I got some of the decliners for you. I want to start with Oracle shares today falling by 2.5%. This after a report in the information said the company's profit margin in cloud computing is lower than many on Wall Street have been estimating. The company's gross margin was 67.3%, the lowest in more than a year due to heavy spending on chips and data center capacity. Oracle shares earlier in the session fell as much as 7.1%, but paired those declines to close down 2.5%. The company declined to comment. Ford shares falling the most today since February, down 6.1%. The Wall Street Journal reported that a fire at a New York State aluminum plant will cause months of disruption for Ford. It's the biggest customer of this plant based in Oswego, though Toyota and Stellantis also use this plant's aluminum. Citi says it's too soon to cut fourth quarter North American light vehicle forecast, but the fire could present a supply risk for the period. Our Bloomberg intelligence team, including Steve Mann, who's going to join our program in just about 20 minutes, says that the drop in the stock also reflects persistent concern over rising warranty costs and its EV business at the expiration of an EV tax credit, crimping demand. And finally, watching shares of sports betting platforms DraftKings and Flutter Entertainment. Flutter is the parent company of FanDuel. Flutter down 3.7%, DraftKings down 5.8%. These took a hit today after Intercontinental Exchange, the owner of the New York Stock Exchange, announced plans to invest as much as $2 billion in the crypto-based betting platform Polymarket. You can kind of bet on anything on Polymarket, guys, not just about elections, not just about how many tweets Elon Musk will send. That was a real one that I saw this morning, but also, of course, on sports as well. So that could be a challenge to these companies
And
that
whether
are pure play
Tim
sports
might have
betting.
a sandwich during our show.
Oh,
That one's an easy one to sort of like.
is that
play.
a very liquid market?
The odds are not maybe so liquid, but the odds are
nobody cares.
99.9% that he will.
Okay, I have no idea what they're talking about. Tim ate a sandwich? Is that
Tim-
the
No,
news?
you
Tim
can
owned-
bet on whether or not Tim
Yeah.
is going
Okay.
to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can also bet on where treasuries are going. You take a look at yields on the screen. They are down across the board here. I should point out that we had seen yields ticking higher for the last few days, really the last couple of weeks here. So a bit of a pullback today as some people pile back in on a price basis.
All right, folks, let's get to some of the stories. By the way, that was a nice segue off, Tim. We were just both nodding how well you did that.
Romaine's a true professional.
You really are.
I am.
If only
Thank
we
you.
could be as good. I'm just saying.
One day.
It's a
Carol.
pleasure sitting next to him.
I'm hoping one day. Hey, listen, inflation, we talk about it a lot still. We know
I've
the
heard
Fed,
about
the Fed is still keeping it, certainly has some concerns. We heard former Treasury Secretary Robert Rubin talk about it. He has some concerns about
We did,
inflation,
yeah.
right? It was an interesting conversation. Well, it turns out Ken Griffin and Citadel, they too are concerned about
Griffin,
higher
yeah.
prices. Yeah.
Former Chicagoan.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Griffin wishes that his Miami tower cost $1 billion as the price surges. I mean, it's going to cost him, right, Tim, a lot more.
Yeah, $2.5 billion. Construction's likely to begin mid to late next year. He said, I wish it were $1 billion. He was asked on stage about the building at the Citadel Securities Conference in New York on Monday. He said, due to inflation and the cost of construction, it's going to be about a $2.5 billion project. The waterfront project had been expected to break ground in the third quarter of 2025, a spokesperson there said at the time.
See, so nobody's immune from inflation.
Seems like a nice tower.
No one is immune from inflation, but maybe what he needs to do is actually get his all the CFAs that he has on staff and get them to crunch the numbers and figure out how to make it work. The only problem is there's probably a smaller pool to choose from here. The latest results from the first level of the 3-level CFA exam are in. The pass rate, 43%. That was for the level 1 test takers in August. And of course, historically, this number has been in the 40% range. I think tops out around 50% historically. And of course, during the heyday when I took it and it was still difficult, it was like in the 30s.
I think you had AI do it.
No, AI didn't exist back then.
You did it for real?
It's all human power, man.
Hey,
It
how
was
many
like,
times did you have to take it?
It was like
before you
John, what was it,
passed?
John Henry and was it Paul Bunyan? What was it? I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you pass on your first go-round?
Well, it depends. Which exam are you talking about?
I don't know.
1, 2, or 3.
There's 3 levels, Carol Massar, and no, for the record, it did take me multiple chances to get to the finish line.
But that's pretty
that's
much
called
the way it
persistence,
works.
Carol Massar.
Yeah,
persistence.
He's got great. Wait, which is the
Don't
hardest
give up.
level?
If you're out there
Three
and
is
you're
the hardest.
struggling, no, actually, no.
See?
Actually,
No?
thought it
I
was-
can only be like.
I don't know.
What's the
I don't know if
hardest?
this is a violation, but honestly, I felt level 2 was the hardest.
I've heard that, right? That the first
Yeah.
one is, a little bit easy. If you make it to the third one, then
Easy, 43%.
everything's relative.
Yeah.
You know what's hard? Giving birth.
Oh my!
Wow. Wow. Okay.
All right.
That
right.
really puts it into perspective,
I mean, I would argue with you, but I can't.
I know, exactly.
Finally, something. You found something, Carol.
You stumped
He
him.
cannot weigh in.
Is this going to be her ace up their sleeve every argument we
is.
have now?
Totally.
Hey, you guys got to say goodbye to Carol. This is her last simulcast of the week, okay?
Yeah, thanks.
We're
Sound like
heading
my
out
mother,
to
who always
LA
reminds me I
tomorrow
was
for
born at,
Bloomberg
like,
Screen Time.
12:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
All right. Well, have fun in
LA.
LA.
Good luck.
Okay.
You going to the beach again?
We will miss you.
We will go to the beach, don't worry. BloombergLive.com/screen time. You can still get tickets, maybe.
Yeah, Jimmy
Tickets.
Kimmel.
Maybe.
They're
I know you
charging
can.
for this
David
thing?
Ellison.
Might be sold out. You can definitely watch what we're doing there.
Oh.
All right, we are so silly. It's a Tuesday, that's for sure.